Well, the collapse of the Soviet Union was not inevitable. I don't think anybody could say that the Soviet Union was bound to collapse in the late 80s. Um, and certainly we look at it now, and it all seems very ordered and just destined to happen. But I think the Soviet Union, of course, could be around right now, if it hadn't been for many of the policies that were pursued by the Soviet Union's last leader, Mikhail Gorbachev. Um, but if I have to point to some long-term trend um, um, that influenced the collapse of the Soviet Union, um, taking as given that there was this person named Gorbachev, and that he put in place a number of policies. Basically, the Soviet Union collapsed because it couldn't meet all the obligations that it had acquired. I mean, the burden of empire for the Soviet Union was just becoming too much by the late 80s, and certainly it could have muddled through, who knows, 10, 15, 20 years, but by the late 70s, it was clear that the Soviet Union was engaged in a sort of race or competition with the West, with the United States, and it couldn't keep up. And there is a long-term trend observed in the Soviet economy. The Soviet economy grows very quickly, very fast. In the 40s and the 50s, in the 60s, begins to slow down, and the slowdown becomes more and more pronounced in the 70s, and finally in the 80s, the Soviet economy is not growing, and this is crucial because the Soviet Union was a military-industrial complex imposed on a police state. That means the Soviet Union needed its military industrial complex to produce the technologies and the weapons that could allow it to continue competing with the United States and with the West, which is what its position of superpower obliged it to do. But because of the nature of its closed economy, the military-industrial complex was absorbing more and more resources from a shrinking pie as time went by, and it was producing less and less. And for the West, that was not a problem because the nature of Western economies is different, and resources that go into the military don't necessarily have to come from the civilian economy, but for the Soviet Union that was a big problem. And the Soviet Union was never really a superpower to begin with. It as a country, it was the most multi-ethnic federation in the world. There were many nationalities, there were many simmering problems, many simmering tensions that had been there for a long time. And when somebody actually came up and admitted to the fact that the way of things the way things had been done for a long time had to change, it was too much stress for the whole system to bear, so it cracked, and it basically ended up breaking, in the end.